Pro Wrestling Summit, motherfucker. Welcome to Saturday, bitches. What the fuck is going on, man? We got the new studio fucking set up. We got the fucking dude Knowledge here. We're fucking ready to go, man. It's fucking Pro Wrestling Summit.
And what a week has it been in
Holy fucking shit, dude.
It's like every single week since we've started this podcast has been absolutely insane. Can I just address one thing, though? That's
what are we addressing?
5 seconds of this show, and then we can forget it forever. The internet wrestling community is just absolutely poisoned to the point that any news that comes out about wrestling, they have to go nuts over. And the fact that Jeff Jarrett was released from WWE, and they put the Road Dogg Jesse James as the VP of live events, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit about any of that stuff?
Not me.
But people went nuts this week over that.
Yeah, you know what, dude? The problem with the internet wrestling community, and I don't, I wouldn't say that I really subscribe to the internet wrestling community, and here's why. Because the favorites of the internet wrestling community ain't got nothing to do with me. Yeah. I don't fucking think those people are any good. Like, they're not worth their salt. Like, I fucking really disagree with a lot of people. Now, I may say some things that may or may not upset the internet wrestling community today. But you know what? I really don't give a fuck. You want to know why? Because I'm that guy. I'm fucking that guy. I'm not the real one. I'm that guy.
All right, well then let's get into it. Let's piss some people off.
Okay. Now listen. This goes out on Saturday. This gets recorded on Friday, okay? This gets recorded right just fucking prior to SmackDown. SmackDown, just prior to that, okay? So whatever happens on SmackDown or Rampage, we ain't fucking talking about it. You want to know why? Because we have fucking lives outside of this fucking shit, okay? People gotta fucking sleep, all right? People gotta sleep. The wrestling fucking community, it seems like it doesn't fucking sleep. It doesn't sleep. They are up fucking researching. They want to fucking dig into people's lives. Yo, do something better with your time. Seriously, okay? So I'm going to name a couple of wrestlers throughout this podcast that may fucking piss you off. Maybe a hot take, I guess, in professional wrestling, if you like. But if you're fucking sore about it, tell me about it. You want to know why? Because I'm that guy. I don't give a fuck. That's why.
Well, this isn't 20 years ago now where, you have a show on Monday and, a show on Friday. Now there's something on every day of the week.
Every single day, bro.
It's just insane. Then if there's a pay-per-view, too, oh, my God.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, for a wrestling fan, like we said previously, I mean, this is fucking the time to be... This is the time to be a wrestling fan. I mean, if you were ever going to fucking be a wrestling fan, it's right now. Seriously.
Those of us that are lucky enough to have made it through the Attitude Era and then now, this is doubly exciting.
Let me just explain something to you, okay? I'm going to say something right off the fucking jump right here. Right off the rip. Not as in rip as in no holds barred Hulk Hogan. I'm talking about fucking right off the jump off here, okay? I'm going to hit you with something right now, okay? Oh, man, this is going to get me in a lot of fucking trouble in the internet wrestling community. It really is, dude. I really don't give a fuck, though. What were we talking about? You were just saying something. What were you saying?
I was talking about the fact that there was, you were lucky enough to be in
yes.
Era.
I'm sorry. That's right. Yes.
You're so worried with the internet wrestling community.
I know, dude. I clicked out for a second, dude. I lost. I
want to piss everybody off.
Yeah.
Nope. It all just went.
No. So what I think is what I'm gonna say from the jump right here that's gonna fucking make some people mad is that this era of wrestling is better than the Attitude Era.
Wow. So let's qualify that. Are we talking actual wrestling? Are we talking storylines? Are we talking...
Okay, listen.
Production value?
If you really fucking go back to the Attitude Era, okay? I don't know. Listen, everyone's got fucking Peacock at this point, okay? Go back and fucking watch some of those shows, all right? I have, okay? I've watched these fucking shows in great detail, okay? Like the Attitude Era, like they had a lot of really fucking hokey shit.
And the wrestling, most of the wrestling was dog shit.
It was dog shit.
And until you got like Kurt Angle in the ring,
Well, I mean, like, Benoit was always good. Again, I'm going to get heat for that, even saying the guy's name, but you can go fuck yourself. That guy was incredible in the ring. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened in that fucking house in Georgia, neither do you, so stop fucking playing armchair fucking detective, because you don't fucking know just like I don't know, okay? So don't make fucking assumptions. No one has any idea. Is it terrible? A terrible tragedy what happened? 100,000 million %. It shouldn't have fucking happened under any fucking circumstances. Not acceptable. But the fact of the matter is that guy's fucking wrestling career was impeccable. Mm-hmm. Like, he is what wrestlers aspired to be like, you know? And I mean, think about the guy who he aspired to be like, Dynamite Kid, who Bret Hart has come out and said since the beginning of his career that Dynamite Kid is the best wrestler that ever wrestled. And I can't fucking disagree with him. I don't like Bret Hart. I think that how he did business was fucking worth a shit. But, again, I'm playing fucking armchair booker. Like, I was not in that fucking guy's position. I don't know exactly the conversations that happened. But Wrestling with Shadows, man, that documentary was supposed to paint you in a good light. It made you look like a little bitch. That's what it made you look like.
I like that Goldberg has come out and has said, I'm done apologizing to Bret Hart. I've apologized so many times, and I'm just done at this point.
Dude, like, listen, man, accidents fucking happen in the ring all the time, dude. Like, Big E did the best thing that he could have done when Rich Holland fucking, compressed his vertebrae. And shout out to Big E, dude. Like, fucking, not enough people give that guy enough fucking credit, dude. I'll tell you what, as far as I'm concerned, he is the fucking glue that was holding New Day together. Without him now, it is very difficult to watch those guys or to get behind them.
100%. And I feel like their own morale has significantally gone down with.
And how couldn't it?
Right.
How couldn't it?
Right.
It's fucking crazy, dude. How could it not go down? But, I wish Big E a fucking very speedy recovery, man. Like, I hear these things on the internet, and it's like, oh, he has a major setback, and then, like, he's posting videos where he's out of his neck brace.
Well, now he has come out and he said that he doesn't have to wear his neck brace and he can return to normal life, but that's regular life.
Yeah, normal life is not professional wrestling.
Right, he is not cleared to go back to professional wrestling because his L7 or something like that is not ossifying. And so
it may end up ending his career.
It could end up ending his career. And I mean, I'm hoping that he, I kind of hope he comes back and manages the New Day. Stay out of a wrestling role. And the thing is, you have to be really careful.
Nah, I think that he needs to produce. I think that you need to Jason Jordan him. Like what they did to Jason Jordan when he hurt his neck. They fucking put him in a producer role.
Make him Kurt Angle's son. Yeah.
Fuck, dude. I really thought it was going to be Chad Gable. They even look alike. I'm like, it would have fucking made perfect sense. And then this guy is like, oh, I'm Kurt Angle's son. I'm like, how the fuck does that make sense?
But we're talking about Jason Jordan and Chad Gable now. Even talking about Big E. Talking about these guys. And that really should solidify your point that wrestling now is far and above wrestling in the Attitude Era.
It's just
the in-ring work alone. It's so much more crisp. It's so much more clean. Yeah, there's botches, and that will happen.
Yeah, but when you wrestle at the high fucking pace that these guys wrestle at, you can't land everything perfectly. I'm sorry to tell you people, but you have no fucking idea how difficult it is to rotate your body in a Hurricane Rana position as some guy is hurling his body at you at a very high rate of speed, upside down. Think about that, dude. And that is like the most simple move in professional wrestling. Every single guy has impeccable timing to be able to take such a simple move. Mm-hmm. So, of course, there's going to be botches. The speed of wrestling has changed.
And it's really apparent when a company is pushing somebody that clearly does not have it. And there's so many examples of wrestlers that do have it.
I would think that there's more examples of wrestlers who don't have it, though.
Well, 100%. Ones that have been pushed to
Oh
the
my
moon
god,
that don't
dude.
have.
Oh my god. So many guys.
But you think back to the Attitude Era, you could push almost anyone with a solid story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you can't hack it in the ring, the fans are not going to get behind you.
Perfect example. Almost.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. What is that guy doing in a wrestling ring?
He can't do anything.
He's the great Khali of.
No, I think he's even more talented than that. Like, I think he's a pretty talented dude, but like, you gotta fucking do the right thing by that guy. Like, he looks like a chump now because he got exposed. You can't put a guy like that in a real match. You gotta either have him squash somebody or he loses fast.
Yeah.
You can't keep that guy. Listen, man, Paul Heyman is the guy when it comes to that. He said, hide their fucking weaknesses, show their strengths. You want to talk about a guy who took a ragtag bunch of dudes and got them fucking over his rover? Like, what the fuck, dude? Those guys had no business fucking getting over the way that they did.
No.
The Sandman?
Yep.
That guy can't fucking wrestle worth a dick.
And I love
I fucking love the Sandman.
That was my guy. I would have people talking about, WWF, Raw, and SmackDown, talking about WCW. I'm like, how have you not seen the Sandman?
Oh my god!
Yet? How have you
Sabu? How have you not seen Sabu? People like, who the fuck is Sabu?
Right.
I'm like, you're an idiot.
And there's Bret Hart over here, and I'm like, no, fuck them, fuck that Sandman.
Yeah.
Just watch this guy come down to Metallica, fucking cracking open cans of beer and bashing them into his head.
And drinking, and he's drinking like a 30-pack by the time he gets to the ring.
What was his ability? He's gonna crack you in the head with a kendo stick. Like, that's it. I don't even know what moves he had. Sometimes
The White Russian leg sweep. That was his finish.
Right, with the kendo stick.
With the kendo stick.
Right. So I mean, he had like one move. He would bash people in the head with a kendo stick, and that'd be it.
But he was the everyman.
Yes.
He was the everyman.
But again,
he was the dude. The correlation. You have to be able to correlate with people. Who the fuck can correlate with a 7-foot giant dude who looks like he will eat everybody and eat your face, and like you make him out to be like some like gangster thug?
Yeah,
like,
totally ridiculous.
Like he's dressing in like a fucking wool and fucking suede jacket. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing with this guy?
Makes no sense.
Dude,
No
you
sense
put that
whatsoever.
fucking... Dude, you could have made that dude like the Candyman.
Yep.
Put him in like a black trench coat, dude, and have that fucking dude walk out with Bray Wyatt one time. Forget it, dude. It's all over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, dude. It's a wrap. And I bet you Bray would be like, I'm all about that.
100%.
Fucking A, dude. I'm all about that. Let's fucking do that.
100%. I just... they make mistakes like that with big guys now because they don't know how to use big guys anymore.
Well... I mean, I think that's also an issue with the wrestling business because big guys are so few and far between.
The game has changed.
The game has changed. The size of guys has changed. Like WWE, I get what they were trying to do with that NIL program that they had. Hey, these next in line program, let's get these college athletes who are fucking looking to make a transition into professional wrestling. The problem is that you can't have that because while NXT is a developmental territory, it's still on national television and you still have to fucking put on credible matches.
Right.
And when they have a tryout with all these NIL athletes and they don't pick one,
Yeah.
like they don't see promise in any one fucking person, like that's a real issue.
It's a huge problem. A huge problem.
You
And
need passion to be in this business.
that's the issue. It's not just about having the athleticism. Athleticism can only get you so far, but if you don't have a love for the wrestling business, it's going to show, and the fans are not going to get behind you.
Listen, it becomes completely unbelievable because people aren't into it. They're like, I can't invest in your character. What is your character? And do you even have a character?
And that's the big issue that I feel like we're with all those programs they're missing, is that wrestling isn't about your in-ring work. It's not about your promos. It's not about what you dress or how you dress. It's not about the titles that you have. At the end of the day, it's about the fans. Because if you can't get the fans to love you or hate you, you're done.
You're done. That's
The
it.
worst thing that could happen to you is you come out and the crowd doesn't give a fuck. The crowd leaves to go to the concession stands and go get something.
Bored.
A dead crowd or a crowd chanting, "This is boring," that's your death knell. You're done. You might as well pack your shit and leave. You can keep collecting a paycheck from whatever company's paying you. Sit at home. You're done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that people understand that. And I think that some people have had a real difficult time with saying that the business has changed, but it has. I mean, it's so different from how it was in the Attitude Era. Like, even just like how wrestlers make money is completely separate now. Like, there's no DVD sales, dog.
Right.
So, like, these guys are not getting a portion of the DVD, which goes to their merchandise. Also, they don't do pay-per-views anymore. So these guys don't get a pay-per-view percentage.
Right.
Because Peacock paid WWE. So, like, these wrestlers are like, oh, let me do Cameo, let me do this shit. And WWE's like, oh, hold on a second. You're property of me. So, like, you can't do that. Now the game has changed. Not to be... the pun's a little funny, but, the game...
Well, it is all about the game,
yeah,
right?
I mean, but seriously, I mean, it's fucking really changed now. Like, the whole business is different.
I don't understand how a lot of these wrestlers, especially the big name talents, didn't immediately call for a restructuring of their contract when they moved to streaming and they stopped doing pay-per-views.
Well, because what the fuck are they going to do? Dude, they have no leg to stand on. They're all independent contractors. And
at the end of the day, all you can stand on is what you're willing to do.
Agreed.
And I'm not going to go put my body on the line if I'm not going to get a proper percentage. This was all built into my contract. Now you've taken that out. You've fucked me.
Yeah.
So we need to address that.
I will say, though, I'm pretty sure that the yearly income had increased quite a bit in terms of contracting. I may be completely wrong, so if an ex-wrestler from WWE wants to reach out to me and tell me that I'm a fucking Momo, you can absolutely do that. I'm more than happy to do that. You can reach me at good_villain_media. Okay, you can reach me there. You can also comment on the video, because I know that you love dirt sheet type shit, and so you wrestlers are fucking probably listening to this. Maybe so, maybe not. Who the fuck knows? But either way, I think that the WWE definitely fucking like put more of a pay scale in terms of once they sign that Peacock deal. Like, okay, there's no more pay-per-view, so like you have to do something. Like, I'm sure that the top guys got restructured immediately,
Right.
And
It would be
maybe some of the lower guys like didn't.
It would be as simple as just switching it from the revenue you would have seen in like DVD sales and pay-per-view buys to people that are coming in, like to actual ticket sales.
Right.
People that are going to physically come in. But
Which, if that's okay, then COVID. And
right,
then
right.
COVID and then you're fucked.
Just screwed everyone. Right. So
You're sitting in front, you're wrestling in front of a fucking TV screen.
yeah.
That's fucking weird, bro. Weird shit.
Or when they weren't wrestling in front of TV screens, it was just empty crowds.
Yeah, see, I like that.
Oh.
I enjoy that. I like that. Well, because it really makes the wrestlers have to work. Like, you're not calling spots in the ring. There's no noise.
Right.
What the fuck are you gonna do, dude? They're gonna know that you're calling a spot.
It exposed a lot of wrestlers.
Wow,
Exposed a lot of wrestlers.
I mean,
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
I know. No.
Chris Jericho would say it's a bad thing.
I mean, I think that if you're in the professional wrestling business, you need to know how to work on your feet.
100%.
And fuck everything else, because when shit goes downhill and you need to get them back, it is not fucking easy to fucking get them back.
Right.
I've seen the crowds literally turn on wrestlers in the middle of a match and go, uh-oh, that's fucking trouble.
Right.
That is not the intended purpose of this. That is not good. Right. Something bad is about to happen. And, usually a person's push is destroyed because of that. Because they don't connect for some reason, or the fans poo-poo on it, and they fucking, that's that.
Well, you know what the fans went nuts on this week?
Oh, Oh, well, you said the Jeff Jarrett thing.
Oh, well, yeah, no, that was before, but we're talking about actual in-ring wrestling.
Well, that depends. I mean, what are you gonna?
It's CM Punk Moxley. The fans went.
Okay, so you're gonna get me heat
Nuts.
again.
I
You're
have
gonna
to.
get me heat again.
I have
right
to.
off the.
How can we not talk about it?
I was gonna wait to talk about it to get my heat, but I guess you're not gonna let me slow build. I guess you're gonna let me go right
We're
after.
getting through all of it today.
All right, let me. Okay, if I may,
I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna enjoy my drink, and I'm
Okay.
gonna listen to this.
Yeah, if I may. You know, it's probably the most genius shit, and it has zero to do with CM Punk, and I think that people have it confused about CM Punk. I think that CM Punk believes his own bullshit and really feels like he is the best in the world moniker. And he thinks that he can demand and say things, about people in promos, and the Snow Angel thing really fucking set me off. Like, I was not fucking, you don't do that to somebody. That's just fucking bad etiquette. And it's like, I don't know what I could equate that to in another sport. It's like a fucking boxer punching a guy after the bell.
Dancing on the opponent's,
Yeah.
symbol on the middle of their field.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It's a Terrell Owens
Yeah,
shit.
exactly right. So there's something to be said for that, and I think that his true feelings really started to show through, and I think that people were happy to have him there initially, but I think that they understand that this is probably the reason why WWE didn't really want him back so much, because he was a fucking nightmare crybaby to fucking work with. And I mean, when you're getting people unbooked from fucking shows, someone who was supposedly a really good friend of yours at one time, and you're gonna unbook that person, so you're gonna stop that man from making a living. I got a real problem with that, and I've heard stories about Punk this entire time, and it's not it's not what you think. He's really a fucking dickhead. He's a true blue fucking dickhead, and I think that it's a genius angle, because I think that Punk wanted to. He didn't want to fucking drop the title to anybody else. I think that the Hangman rematch was in the cusp, and he called him out, shoot, and Hangman couldn't come out because it's not the professional thing to do, and Punk has been unprofessional this entire time. And I think that Moxley gave him some El Recitos, a couple, maybe 6, 7 of them with the forearms in the corner, and then the elbows afterwards, and then grabbed his foot like a savage. And honestly, I don't think the match could have gone any other way besides MJF coming out. I mean, I think that's the only other way, that you needed to have a decisive winner in a matter of minutes. But CM Punk now looks like a fucking giant pussy. So how do you come back from that?
Well, so that's the issue. What do you make of Meltzer saying that Moxley and Punk, the rematch, is going to be the main event of All Out?
I mean, why do that match again? For what reason?
You just you destroyed him in 3 minutes. Why would you? I get it. Rematch clause.
It's in Chicago too.
Right,
why would you not want to have that guy in the main event?
So supposedly you're injured. Clearly, you got squashed in 3 minutes.
Yeah, no, dude. 2 minutes and 59 seconds,
Right.
dude. I fucking said, when I text you, I said, This is over in 3 minutes.
Yep.
And I didn't even know the actual time of the match. And then it comes out afterwards. And I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
But it was the right thing to do.
But that's my thing. So if it is going to be the main event of All Out, I don't understand how you book it that Mox is going to squash Punk in 3 minutes. You're going to book it that CM Punk was injured. You're going to do that, and then you're going to have him come just a few weeks later and
put on a competitive match,
right?
Against a guy that just beat the fuck out of you in 3 minutes.
Just doesn't make sense, So that's where, if that happens, it goes to me from a genius booking decision to, what the fuck are you actually doing, Tony Khan? And
there has to be a swerve somewhere in the mix.
I
smell a swerve.
I am 100% a CM Punk guy. I have been since, and we've talked about this, I have been since the pipe bomb. It brought me back into wrestling. It dragged me back into wrestling. And let me tell you something. The antics that have gone on last week have completely soured me on CM Punk. And I know it's going to be in Chicago, but I don't think that CM Punk will get the same reaction in Chicago that he has.
I think that they'd boo him out of the fucking building.
I think it'll be a half and half because it's still Chicago at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they pop big for his entrance, but I think that as soon as he starts wrestling, it's going to go downhill very fast.
It's just, how do you do this? This is a terrible booking decision if you did this. I mean, whatever. I don't book wrestling, but to me, it just doesn't make sense that the guy that got squashed in under 3 minutes is going to put on a competitive match.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't. It just doesn't make much sense from a storyline standpoint if that's what actually happens.
Unless MJF comes out.
Yeah, see, now here we go. Now this is another thing, dude. Like, it's a giant pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. Think about the ramifications. Okay, so they do this match, right? They do this match at Rampage, at Dynamite. They fucking boom, it's done. Okay, Moxley's the champion, 3 minutes, cut and dry. Now, CM Punk, a lot of people probably won't pay attention to this, but as he was walking away from the ring, he kept looking back at the ring. And I think that's a very telling thing that a lot of people may not pick up on.
I didn't even catch it. I don't.
Yeah. If you watch the video, you'll see him as he's being carried to the back. He keeps looking over his shoulder at the ring. Moxley was already gone. Mm-hmm. He was in the crowd already with the belt.
So why is he looking at the ring then?
Why are you looking at the ring, bro?
Like, maybe this guy was supposed to come out?
Or maybe he's maybe the foot injury is legit.
Maybe. That's the other thing. If the foot injury is legit, then you can't have him wrestle a main event.
But wouldn't it be something if let's just play fantasy booking for a second, okay? If I'm Tony Khan, all right, I'm going in my head, okay, what can I do to get to like reduce harm in this situation? You know what I mean? Long term, because you're gonna if you fuck this up. Like, this is bad.
Yeah.
Like, this is bad. You may not be able to recover from this. Because if everyone looks like a fool at the end of the day, this is going to be no good. Mm-hmm. So, I think the only thing that you can do is, if Punk is genuinely hurt and is not going to wrestle, I think you have him walk out. He does his entrance in fucking Chicago, comes out, and either says, I can't go, but somebody's taking my place, and it's MJF, which would get a fucking giant reaction. Mm-hmm. And they could play heel, which I think would go over like gangbusters, especially if Punk isn't actually hurt. And he helps MJF win the belt.
Yeah, so
which in, again, fantasy world, like, that is the ideal situation of how I would book that, because Oh my God! Like the fucking world would explode. The wrestling world would explode.
Yeah, you would take what was your top face at that time, and
Well, listen, dude. Moxley's the top guy now. He's the top face. There's no doubt about it.
I'm just saying, CM Punk was the top face. He had the issues with MJF.
Yup.
They put face against face with Mox and Punk.
Right.
If MJF, what if he doesn't actually get involved in the title picture? What if MJF actually comes out and screws Mox over
To help
CM Punk regain the championship?
Oh my God. It's spicy, bro. It's
And
spicy.
and then you can come back and do a whole bunch of shit where, you know what, now there's this program between him and Mox if you want to, or you can just bring it back to CM Punk and say, I only helped you because I know you're hurt and I'm coming for that championship.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of different ways that you can go. Because,
But you need MJF.
Yeah, MJF is the main ingredient in all those fucking situations.
Otherwise, why are you going to put Mox and Punk in another match?
Well, on the biggest pay-per-view that you do, I get it's in Chicago. You gotta put that guy in the main event. No doubt.
Right after you squashed him for
Yeah, see, that doesn't make no
minutes.
sense. That doesn't make no sense to me. There's gotta be a reason. There's gotta be a bigger picture, and it really, and I'm really putting my faith in Tony Khan that like he has a really good plan to mitigate risk in this whole fucking situation, because if he fucks this up, that's it, bro. Like you had one shot.
You had Punk kick Mox upside the head and crumple to the ground. You had the referee go and check on Punk. You could have if Punk is not hurt, you could have stopped the match right there. Like if this was all storyline, you could have stopped the match right there. Oh, hey, you know what? Can't go on. Whatever.
Yeah, why
no
have
decision. Why have him get beat in 3 minutes? There's no need for that. Mox is pissed off. The crowd goes nuts. They feel that their guy got shafted. You don't lose anything for CM Punk. He comes back in Chicago as the conquering hero, well, as the underdog, fighting off an injury in this match, can still put on a huge match and a competitive match, and it won't look bad whether he loses or wins.
Correct.
That's the way it could have gone. They booked themselves into a corner.
Yeah, man.
And unless you have an MJF.
It's like not a good... Yeah, and that's the thing, dude. Again, the main component in this whole thing to be able to fucking work is MJF. Mm-hmm. Or someone of the like. Right. Someone as big as MJF to that could be credibly involved in this match.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It can't just be some random person coming out.
You can't have just like some NXT dude walk out
or like a Bray Wyatt appear on the show and for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, that would be fucking incredible.
But why?
If that was
but
the case.
thing is,
but why?
Right.
That's what. But Bray would have an answer.
I'm sure he would.
A very creative one, I have a feeling.
I'm pretty sure he has thought of a million different scenarios where he could show up anywhere, and he already knows what he's going to do. That guy's mind is...
I think that he's already shown up places, and like we just haven't been paying attention.
Well, we already talked about the glove and...
yeah, I'm not convinced that it's fucking Dexter Lumis.
No, I'm not either. It doesn't look like
because
Dexter
they wouldn't
Lumis'
have
glove.
shown Dexter. They would have just shown Dexter Lumis.
Right.
They wouldn't have just shown his glove.
Right, considering they've already shown him.
Well, yeah, Index is like back together now.
Right.
And after this fucking week.
And
I get it. Make the crowd pop, but like you can't. You got to keep him in character. Like he can't talk.
Now, do you think that they could have done this? They could have done this match, this squash match, to outshine things like Johnny Gargano returning? Do you think they would have done that just to get attention?
Wow. I mean,
because no one talked about Johnny Gargano after that. It was now all eyes are on Punk and Mox. Punk got squashed in 3 minutes on Vince McMahon's birthday.
Yeah. Huh. I don't really know, dude. That's a fucking great question,
because
man.
if that's what happened, that's again, I said it last week. That's some WCW shit.
Yeah, and that's some really bad booking.
Yep.
So, I'm not going to retract my statement because right now it looks genius. From where I'm sitting, it looks genius.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also putting my faith in a in a guy that has only owned a wrestling company for 3 years.
Right. And you know where I stood on both this match in particular with Mox and Punk, and you know where I've stood on the MJF situation. I don't think that is a work. I think MJF's not coming back. I think they've booked themselves into a corner that's going to be real bad come all out.
Could you imagine if MJF doesn't come back and he goes to WWE? Oh my god, dude. That would be fucking out of control.
Especially with Triple H running the show now.
Yeah,
he will know how to use them. But he will absolutely say, if you swear on my programming, I will snap your neck.
I don't think he would, bro.
Well, the same way that he did with... you can't drop the F-bombs and stuff like that.
I think he was told to go out there and say that shit. I think he was told to go out there and drop that. Dude, they wouldn't have... Listen, the censors are not that good. The censors wouldn't have been able to fucking bleep that.
They have already messed up multiple times, so...
Correct.
Yeah.
So, they wouldn't have been... The F word is not getting bleeped out of that promo. There's no fucking way.
But I look at that as they were supposed to do like a CM Punk pipe bomb situation where they're supposed to cut the mic, and they just never cut the mic. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, giving that guy a live mic, you should fucking know better to begin with, because that guy is... I mean, he fucking knows how to get heat. Boy.
Yep.
And he...
The right way.
He does it the right way. He makes fun of people, but he never takes away from what they're able to do in the ring. It always comes back to, hey, you're a great wrestler. Mm-hmm. No one said you're not a great wrestler. You're just not better than me. I'm better than you, and you know it.
100%.
And he's smart, dude.
Yep.
He's smart. He's a young kid. He's got a very marketable look. He can make a lot of money in the wrestling business.
100%.
And he clearly loves it. He loves the psychology of it.
And I hope for AEW's sake he shows up at All Out, because otherwise there is no way to save that storyline.
Oh my god. If he doesn't show up, dude, it's bad. It's real fucking bad. And even, I don't know if I would even be excited to see Bray there, because I don't think they'd use Bray properly.
Nope. Well, I totally agree with you. We've talked about, not obviously not on the podcast, but since Bray was cut, we've talked about that. Like, where could he go? He can't do AEW, because at that time they were doing the stuff with Matt Hardy, and they were botching that, even though they could go full-on cinematic with Matt Hardy if they wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
And they just used him completely wrong. Oh, you need the crowd there. No, you don't. No, you don't. You did stuff at the Hardy Complex and stuff. You're telling me you can't put that on TV? All your videos that were on YouTube, you tell me you can't put that type of stuff on TV? Give me a break. Especially in COVID. That makes things so much safer during COVID, because
you don't even have to appear in the building.
You have a skeleton crew at your ranch, at your compound. You're good.
And people would be into it.
100%. It was on fire at that point. So if they couldn't do that with the Hardys then, I can imagine I can't imagine how badly they were messed up.
Oh yeah, 100%. They would totally fuck it up.
WWE has the right.
Well, they have the resources, they have the money, they have the talent to be able to do it. They're not working with. They're working with big budget shit. It's
that same dichotomy of look at what AEW did with the Hardys, with Matt Hardy, versus what WWE did at WrestleMania with Bray Wyatt and John Cena, and
it's fucking amazing. Dude.
Probably one of the best cinematic matches that I've ever seen.
It's probably the only cinematic match that I give any legitimacy to.
I didn't mind the AJ Styles and Undertaker one. I didn't mind that. Again, I'm not saying it was great. I'm saying I didn't mind it.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
Well, at that point, the Undertaker should have just been done.
Wow,
5 years prior.
I mean,
it was very.
You're burying a guy, and his fucking hand is popping through the fucking thing.
It was very meme worthy. Some great memes came from that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fucking. Some of that shit, that's where, the old school wrestling fan of me is what the fuck are you people doing?
But that old school fan in you doesn't mind that stuff when it comes to Bray Wyatt.
Some of it. Like, I'm not a big fan of, like, like the,
Funhouse or whatever. That stuff
yeah,
is.
like, as soon as you put, like, a mask on,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you become a completely different person,
Yeah.
and, like, that has, like, superpowers, like,
Or body paint.
yeah, I
Go-
mean,
go
like,
with the whole Demon Valor thing.
yeah, like, like, he doesn't need to do that, dude.
Right.
Like, okay, I get why he did that in Japan, because there is a giant community of people who love that shit.
100%.
And people who understand it on a comic book level. The American wrestling fans, most of us don't get that shit. We're just like, okay. Like little kids aren't fucking screaming for Demon Balor.
Nope.
Like they're just not. But they scream for Bray Wyatt.
100%.
So that really goes to show, like, you know, the guy fucking knows what he's doing. But, like, I didn't like all of his shit. I mean, he's very smart. And the stuff that he did do is very smart and it's very psychological,
Yeah, and
which is what the business is about.
And that's why I was going to